Hello UCC and TPP students. I'd just like to welcome you to my video and I hope you enjoy. Let's get into it. Hello UCC and TPP 102 students. In this video, I'm going to provide some insight into how I resparked my passion for learning across the semester using Task 2 of UCC and TPP 102. But first, I would like to provide a glimpse into my personal, academic, and professional backgrounds, sharing my experiences throughout this semester as I learned and applied my program of choice in Task 2 of UCC and TPP 102. Hello everyone, my name is Josh. I am 22 years old and currently enrolled in a diploma in Social and Human Services at the University of the Sunshine Coast. I grew up on the coast and have previously worked in an array of different fields, including hospitality, retail, and trades, but I didn't find these jobs fulfilling aside from the paycheck. But I yearned for a more fulfilling area to work in, inspiring me to explore my options. Whilst I explored the different career paths available, I identified the change that support workers make in people's lives. This inspired me to follow in their footsteps, leading me to enroll in a certificate for in mental health peer support at TAFE. Throughout this experience, I discovered that I enjoy the in-class tertiary education experience, and after meeting the required placement hours, I was subsequently offered the opportunity to volunteer at STEPS in their recovery support programs. After facing some barriers to gaining employment and being inspired by the team at STEPS and the psychosocial support they provided, I applied and was consequently accepted into USC for a diploma in social and human services, and I am currently in my second semester. As I become more academically adept, coming from a background that was not as academically inclined, I have found that my first semester came with a steep learning curve, even having recently come from a certificate for at TAFE. Whilst choosing my two programs in ICT, I reflected on my university experience so far and identified two key barriers contributing towards the learning curve. A major one was a decrease in inspiration over the semester, furthermore, causing a lack of inspiration, therefore decreasing my overall academic satisfaction. If I wanted to improve and help reduce this learning curve, I had to reignite this inspiration and was able to do so with the assistance of Task 2 in UCC and TPP 102. Task 2 of UCC and TPP 102 provided me with a choice of programs. One of my choices in this class was to learn Canva as a part of my Task 2. Furthermore, throughout the semester, I embarked on my journey of program discovery. It was a journey, that's for sure. As I started my semester, I had a number of things go sideways in my personal life early in the term, literally and metaphorically, which took my attention away from my studies. Consequently, this led to a significant miscalculation in my estimated time to complete my chosen learning materials, also putting a spanner in the works for my elected days to focus on task 2. But with some extra time spent reorganizing my timetable, some caffeine and a dream, I was able to overcome this. When coming to the end of my elected 10 hours of Canva learning, I felt the need to relight that spark that inspired me to go to university in the first place. So, I began seeking ways to apply my learnings to what inspired me to begin with psychosocial support. Furthermore, my need for a transferable logo and itinerary arose as I am involved in the facilitation of a newly formed men's mental health group. Consequently, I began applying my Canva learnings of color and logo theory, as well as my learnings of other graphic design theory and tools to create a logo that represented the group to current or potential members. I chose to use a calming color as my background and contrasting colors to emphasize the logo's wordmark, otherwise known as the brand name, or in this case, the name of the group. Furthermore, with the font in bold to emphasize the wordmark, choosing to frame the group with the circle as it creates a unified design, also portraying the unity of the group. As I explored a simplistic yet impactful image for the logo, I discovered this simple yet impactful design of two hands uniting, a common handshake that I've found relatable as it represents mateship in my eyes and connects to the name of the group, being Mates Matter. As I finalised my logo, I believe I achieved my goal, which was to create a logo that portrayed the values of the group, these being calm, unified, whilst maintaining the unique environment of a men's group. As you can see here, I have also created a logo brand style sheet with the main logo, submark, colours used without, and fonts using Canva. Furthermore, this is the itinerary I created using a template provided by Canva. As you can see, I was able to customize the categories and color palette. Canva's tools also enabled me to add and customize my logo to match the theme of the itinerary. Although I had to make significant changes from the start, the creative freedom Canva enabled, along with my application of these learnings to one of the things that inspired me to commence my university journey to begin with, was truly motivational and made the learning worth it. Now that I have informed you of my journey across the semester in under 2,000 words, I know, right? Didn't seem like it. I'd like to share some of my thoughts and hopefully provide some encouragement as you begin this journey. The first thing I'd like to recommend is if you're even mildly creative, like myself, or maybe even have a speck of interest in becoming so, choose something that entices you to explore it, as I found that this was a breath of fresh air and provided me with the motivation I was lacking last semester. And as you pick your programs for tasks through this semester, search for what goals or interests that inspired you to join the university to begin with. I want to leave you with an inspirational quote as you begin your university journey. Instead of worrying about what you cannot control, shift your energy to what you can create. And creativity comes in many forms. Thank you for listening and good luck on this journey. I'm back in the flesh. Thank you for watching my video and hope you enjoyed my stick figures journey throughout the semester. And remember to stay inspired. Good luck.